Bam. Pose tennis. I look a little gross. It's okay. Right now we're doing kids POV. Two kids values. Two, oh wait, I have this, not compare and contrast, but warm glow or not, two arguments. Two, I mean, I don't think it's gonna go that far, to grain of salt. So, after that, oh, whole ordeal with warm glow. Hey Google, jazz music. We're finally going to get to do the kids POV. Took us long enough, but we're there. I didn't actually write the kids POV, so that's where I stopped on my notebook. But I do want to do, hey Google, volume 30%. I do want to do a speech technique. I don't know the exact name. Hey Google, volume up. There it is. A speech technique where you kind of say the same words over and over again. Think of Obama when he does a speech, how he does he starts with one little phrase and then use the phrase, line, phrase, line, phrase, line for significance, right? Kids are older now. So the kids are older now. And so, actually what's interesting, I had names for the kids, but I think it's better if we focus less on the family and more on the family, more on the parents, right? No, because I do need a name. The kids are older now. I'll give names later. So they're called the Bob Joes. There's, I swear to God, Billy Bob Joe and Martha Bob Joe, Jamie Bob Joe, Bolly Bob Joe. I don't know. I'll figure out the wife's name later. They're old enough to, and this, I really love the idea. Old enough to, let's see. They're old. I wrote down a couple. Right. The last one is create their own set of values. Right? But there's more. They're old enough. The kids are older now. They're old enough. Start out simple and then get more symbolic, metaphorical. Oh girl. They're old enough to see. They're old enough to question. No, let's start. So come on. They're old enough to drive, right? They're old enough to make mistakes. They're old enough to question. This is going to be last. They're old enough to question. Old enough to question things. They're old enough to see their parents not as parents, but as people. I think those four are good, right? The kids, these two kids, they've grown. They're older now. They're old enough to drive. They're old enough to make mistakes. I don't like driving. They're old enough to make mistakes and learn from them. You see what I'm talking about? Workshopping to question what they never questioned before. I like just start something small and then work their way out. Finally, to create their own set of values will be the last one. They're old enough to see the error of their ways. Captain Crunch, what? Rude. He just called me a bitch. I think he said meow and just left. That was really rude. You don't get to talk to me like that. Do you pay rent? Do you pay rent? It's not paid. He's not looking at me because he doesn't pay rent. Again, post tennis, mind going crazy all over, and a little bit of testosterone built up. So, just so you know, they're old enough to make mistakes and learn from them. They're old enough to question what they have never questioned before. They're old enough to see their parents not as parents, but as people. They're old enough to have their own set of values. Now, they're old enough to create their own set of values. I like have. It makes it easier. I'm gonna use the word create. Oh, now you wanna be my little friend, huh? Okay. Back to blue. I should say, nature versus nurture. We're not gonna get into it. That was last speech. But of course, using the nature aspect of it, right? The nurture aspect, apologies. Nature is the genealogical, blood, ancestral origins. Nurture is how you're raised. So given the nurture aspect, they see Billy Bob Joe and I'm gonna pause it because now I'm really irritated. I don't know the name of it. Dawn, her name is Dawn. Love it. This jazz is so jazzy right now. All right, nature versus nurture. So Billy and Dawn. It is Billy, right? I'm just double checking. Billy and Dawn, Bobby Bob Joe. Billy Bob Joe, yeah, Bobby Bob Joe's. Because Bobby Bob Joe does sound better. Bobby and Dawn. They also sound like a better couple name. Bobby and Dawn are nervous with their children. They're happy. They're the love of their lives. The best thing they've ever created, right? But they're nervous nonetheless. They're scared that their children, we're about to name right now, nervous about how their values were passed down. And we'll go to kids' values. I just took up all their space, but it doesn't matter. We'll use values for this next part, but I want to give their names. If they're called the Bob Joes, I want it to be, because Bobby and Jay were the names of the two kids originally, and the names of the parents were Ryan and Alex. but J Bob Joe, J Bob Joe, J Bob Joe, J Bob Joe, and Bobby and Don, Bobby Bob Joe, Don Bob Joe, J Bob Joe, and Ray Bob Joe. No, not Ray and Jay. That's stupid. How about Ricky? Ricky Bob Joe? Just what names sound good with Bob Joe? Ricky J. Ricky and J Bob Joe? Ricky Bob Joe, Ray Bob Joe? Red Dot Term. Stevie Bob Joe? Stevie Bob Joe? Lucy Bob Joe? No. Donovan Bob Joe? Donnie Bob Joe? How about Adam Bob Joe? How about we're just gonna go through the contacts on my phone. Screw it. Hannah Bob Joe. She just texted me. Abby Bob Joe. Ty Low Bob Joe. Odalise Bob Joe. I have some weird name. Odin Bob Joe. Odin Bob Joe is so good of a name, by the way. I might actually keep that. Odin. Shout out to Odin. Miss him, man. Odin Bob Joe. Wait, that actually goes so hard. Odin. Well, I'm gonna spell his name differently for the sake of this. Odin Bob Joe. Hello? I can't even spell Joe right. It's like 3 letters. Odin Bob Joe and Olga. No, it's not doing O name. Gabby Bob Joe. Ghana Bob Joe. Gansey Bob Joe. Gavin Bob Joe. Janina. Jesus, I haven't talked to Janina in so long. Maybe this wasn't good going through my contacts. Barbara Bob Joe. No, it's too close. Batul Bob. Batul. God damn. I can't have people with normal names. Kyle. There you go. Stefano Bob Joe. Bo Bob Joe. Ooh, Bo Bob Joe. No, I can't. But it's really good. I can't do a B name. I have a B, D, and O. Let's just do something else. Lala Bob Joe. Lamise. Julie Bob Joe. Lane Bob Joe. Laura Bob Joe. Lauren Bob Joe? No. Leah Bob Joe. Rory Bob Joe? No. I hear it. Leslie Bob Joe. Lexi. Lily Bob Joe. Caitlin Bob Joe. Cam Bob Joe. Campbell Bob Joe. I know 2 different Campbells. That's weird. Cardi B. Carly Bob Joe. Valkyria Bob Joe. Wendy Bob Joe. Wesley Bob Joe. I can't imagine what it's like for my neighbors. I'm so sorry for them. They're just... just hearing me for like 15 minutes nameless names. Bob Joe. Oh, I have a very, very privileged life right now. The fact that I can do this. Ilya Bob Joe. Irene Bob Joe. Irina Bob Joe. Ooh, Irina Bob Joe. Not like Irina as much, but the Ina sounds good. Isabella Bob Joe. Izzy Bob Joe? Wait, Izzy Bob Joe? Nah, that's gotta be the one. Shout out to Odin and Izzy. What name? Ooh, wait, those names sound good. Odin Bob Joe and Izzy Bob Joe? That's a good set of kid names right there. Oh my gosh, wait. I might need to like name people for like books and stuff. That's good. Bobby and Don and Odin and Izzy. Odin and Don, Bobby and Izzy? No, Bobby and Don work better. Odin and Izzy. Odin's obviously the older one. Izzy, younger daughter, younger sister as well. But let's get into now. You can see ADHD on a high. The kids' values. So, we're just gonna take your space. Okay, so we're gonna start with Odin. Odin takes after Bobby. And he's got a very nuanced set of values. Do actually give me a minute because I gotta find, I did do this originally. One second. Okay, so I kind of didn't, but you'll just see what I mean. I needed to look that up for a specific reason. So Odin takes after takes after Bobby. I gotta put the hat back on, do story mode for this, in the sake of uh, make sure story voice for this. So Odin takes after Bobby in the sense of Odin has an appreciation or doesn't believe there's good people. Imagine I hit the pose, right? Probably didn't. But we have Odin taking after Bobby. Bobby has the why make a bed mentality, right? So it's very similar in the fact that Odin believes why make a bed. Odin believes he is a bad person. Believes he is a bad person. Right? In a larger scale, going to the warm glow example, Odin believes, or Odin considers himself an egoist, right? But there is a big distinction within it between Odin and Bobby, and that is that Odin, even though he was an egoist, even though he believes there's no point in doing these actions because you're going to be a selfish person regardless, he still tries. And that's the big takeaway, right? Unlike his dad, he still does efforts, right? For instance, something small, he will go and donate his extra 5 cents that he can to the car lot. I don't really care. It doesn't matter. He does. I gotta make examples for this because I'm just gonna say something stupid in the moment. 2 examples, real quick. How does he try? He works with kids with disabilities. There you go. Works with kids with disabilities, and also he I don't want to use soup kitchen again, gotta use something else. Considerable selfless acts. He works at a nursing home. No, that's already 2 different things. That one I'll save for Izzy though. Well, spoiler, but nursing home. He. My God, that's not good that I can't think of any selfless acts that are outside of the ones I already named. There's so many, but like it's when you think of them, you blink on it, you know. Selfless acts, including but not limited to nature. We're talking about horticulture and sustainability efforts. He joins a sustainability group, right? And even though he believes he's a selfish person, he still does these things. Now, we'll go to Izzy. Izzy takes after Dawn, right? Right there. Similar in the Rene Descartes or Descartes-esque mentality. Right? I believe I'm a good person and therefore I am. But unlike Dawn, Izzy also tries. She works with the elderly, works in nursing homes. Izzy also what else does Izzy do? Izzy something related to unfair acts in prisons. Why am I forgetting the name of this? Ex-con rehabilitation, not exactly. Works with the legal system possibly. in getting proper representation is, oh, but what's the volunteer efforts that people do for that, where they give out like a helping hand to this, whatever. It's okay. She does volunteer work, okay. But not soup kitchen. I already used that. Volunteer at. I don't want it to be kids. I'm sorry. I feel like that's too stereotypical. But how about volunteer effort in something? Volunteer effort doing selfless actions, working in nursing homes. Also, it. Oh, yeah. 1 second. Oh, animal shelter. Volunteers at the animal shelter. Right? Now, what's a really important distinction, and one thing that I'm just adding, is the arguments that, oh my god, perfect transition, just realized, because the arguments that they're going to have, these two right here, are going to be the transitional effect into the arguments that I have within Warm Glove. Oh my god, fucking G. Okay, sorry, that wasn't even planned, it just happened like that. So, Izzy, no, we'll start with Odin. Odin thinks Izzy is a poser. I don't know why I'm using a fucking 90s conventional term to describe it, but thinks that she's faking it, essentially, right? The fact that she works at nursing homes, she volunteers at animal shelter, they are all purely, to him, selfish acts, right? To make herself feel good. I gotta write faster. Selfish acts to make her feel good. Whatever. Now, Izzy, on the other hand, thinks that Odin is a hypocrite. Odin. Oh my gosh, why do I not pay someone to write stuff for me nowadays? Just so much. Handwriting's not that good. And just like it's a matter of so much time wasted with myself writing stuff. So, Izzy sees, to her, he's self-loathing, but still does nice things. And what right does he have to say that she is doing all this stuff to make her feel good when he does the exact same thing, right? It's a fair argument for both. And with this argument, it stretches into an even bigger argument. Oh, I love that transition. I just didn't even think. But still doing nice things. I didn't know how I was going to have that transition, and it flowed so naturally, because that's what siblings do. They argue about stuff like this. Similar to parents talking about the stuff with their kid. Oh, it's so perfect. Okay. I'm very happy with this. I should say, the way that this speech is really coming into fruition, the flow of it is so perfect. The execution needs to be good, but what were the two things? There were two things at the beginning that I said: eloquence and delivery. And right now, eloquence is at an all-time high. Just need to get that delivery really spot on. As long as we've been doing this, I really want to get a cohesive speech. So let's, we might need to start with arguments. We go start with arguments. This is going to be arguments A, and we'll start with arguments B, having over here, and then of course we'll go from there. Grain of salt. The PTP, phrase that pays, and the final messages that I have right over here. Sticking point, PTP, and the beginning. Thank you. So that'll be all. Oh, little Captain Crunch. Him being a little cutie all over here. You come over here and you'll happily get some snacks, okay? Happily. Ugh, you haven't talked to the camera in so long. Alright, tell everybody, well, first, see the screen. Now, tell everybody that transitions are cool. You should do them more. Stare into their soul. Oh, that was creepy. Alright, I'm not going to show you them feeding because you're going to get a full meal. But, God, I keep wanting to say till next time. I got to stop doing